welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to a video on Mrs. Tory Nichols. Now, I've often joked on the channel here about her being crazy and psycho, and that's just in slapstick. It's just a bit of fun. I don't actually mean she's crazy, because I think underneath all of the attempted assaults that her character has tried to do to other characters, and just the general all-round, manipulation of said events and bending the truth to her will, I feel like there is a great character underneath. Now, I've often talked about this at length. The scene where Miguel and Tory come face to face in Season 3, for the first time since the events of the school, I couldn't stand Tory at all. I didn't like the way that she just dismissed Miguel. You know, when one of us gets hurt, we all get hurt, which is complete bullshit, because all that happened to her was, okay, she got a few bruises. You know, Miguel's the one in the wheelchair. So that, that made no sense to me. That was just like, okay, you're just passing. At least with Sam, Sam tried to reach out to Miguel. Tory did nothing. Tory completely left him in the dust. But, however, this is where context comes in. She was already working a job. She was looking after her sibling and her sick mother. She's now working 2 jobs and looking after her sibling and her sick mother. Now, here is where the interesting part kicks in. One of my favourite parts of Season 3 was Kreese's visit to Tory in the apartment complex. It looks very similar to where Johnny and Miguel live. I don't know if they reused the set or... I don't know. It just looks like the exact same location. But I do feel like there is potential there. Not just for Kreese, in that he would care about Tory and Robby, but I feel like there is potential for us to really unearth a true gem hidden within Tory's character. I feel like there is a lot of potential for her. There is currently that is not being used, and now Peyton List has been bumped up to a regular, which is a good thing. I do feel like we are going to get some of that story. We're going to get some of that detail that we have been sorely lacking. Even though we've had her for 2 seasons and we know details about her, it feels like we don't know enough to the point where we're invested, or where we actually, excuse my French, give a shit about the character. And it's a shame, because I feel like there's a lot of potential there for Tory. I feel like Tory's character, like, you can sort of see where characters are going to go. You know where Miguel's gonna go, because it's been inscribed in the show from the very beginning. You know where Sam could potentially go, because she's bloodline to Daniel. You know where Robby could potentially go, because not only have I covered it a million times, but another Robby video. But you can sort of see where his character's going to go based on what we've seen before with Daniel and Johnny and Chosen. You can sort of see where that's going to go. Dimitri, you can see where he's going to go. You know, you've seen it a million times, where the loser nerd becomes this all-round badass. Hawk, you can sort of see where he's going to go. Tory, I literally have no clue where this character is going to end up. And that's what excites me, is I don't know. Now, the writers of this show have done such an amazing job. And I don't know if they watch my videos. I mean, huge shout out to the big 3 if they do. And just thank you for giving us this show. It's bloody amazing. I mean, the only nitpick is we're talking about a character that has potential that's untapped. And maybe the odd corny line like, she doesn't love you, she loves me, here or there. But I feel like with Tory's character, it's not just the backstory we need, because backstory is one thing. Context is another. Detail is another. Character motivation is another. Reasoning. Why should we care about this character? As of right now, other than people who are, like, let's say, fans of Tory that are already established, no one in the vast majority really cares about Tory when compared to Hawk or Miguel, or now even Sam's come up in the rankings. Robby's, you're welcome. But I just say that I think Tory's character has such potential that I think Season 4 is the best time to pull the trigger and see what Tory is all about. Because, again, it's Cobra Kai's season. I know Johnny and Daniel are coming together, and I saw someone in the comments section that was, going on this rant about why we want the bad guys to win. So you want students hurt? No, it's because it serves the story. We're not in the show. This isn't real. It's not real, people. It's not real. Just have to get that out there. It's fictional. It's a fictional world with fictional characters. It's not real. But I do feel like with Tory's character, there's a lot of hidden potential there that we can really explore. And with it being Cobra Kai's season, you know, as I've said before with other characters, I think we could really start to really hone in on why Tory is the way she is. And not just why she is the way she is, why we should care. You know, that scene where Kreese visited her in Season 3, that was cool. But that was it. You know, I want more of that. I want more of that. Maybe that creepy landlord comes back, you know. Maybe he hasn't learned his lesson or something. Stuff like that. Maybe Tory's had to put up with that her whole life. Maybe she's known no other way. You know, she's been forced to grow up beyond her years, looking after her younger sibling and her sick mother, which I think will come into play in Season 4. In terms of the tournament, I've said that I think Tory would get the Dutch/Hawk role, where they get disqualified by doing like a dodgy move. And it's not a move that she's going to do consciously. It's a move that maybe her mother gets really, really bad just before the tournament. And maybe the tension and rivalry between her and Sam is like all the way up here. And it gets to a point where Sam and Tory are at this stage where their rivalry is center stage. And it's reaching boiling point, really reaching boiling point. And I could see Tory getting disqualified by absolutely unleashing on Sam because of something that happens to her. Now, if she were to do that now, we'd still go, Tory, what are you doing? Again, like third time, come on. But if we get the detail and the character story and the little nuances and all the little details that make us care about characters, if we get that for Tory in Season 4, even if she unleashes on Sam, I think we'll go, man, I still don't agree with what you're doing, but I understand why you're doing it. I get it. I can see. And I feel like there has been shades of that across the show, but we're not really honing in on it enough. And with it, as I said, being Cobra Kai's season, Silver coming back 30 years later to get the win, Robby having a point to prove, you know, Kyler just being a Cobra Kai asset and wanting to not have his dad do, you know, it's the perfect time. It is the perfect time to really put Tory front and center and learn a bit more about her. Not just about her herself, but why she would like to win the tournament. Now, do I think she's going to win? No, I don't think she's going to win. I don't even think she's going to grace the final. Like, I'm just putting that out there. It's not Tory, no. But she will get far in the tournament and she'll be a threat. She'll be ruthless and she'll be aggressive. And I know everyone's focused on like what Robby would bring, but let it not be said that Tory is an aggressive fighter. She is good, but against someone like Hawk, or Miguel, or Sam, no, it's just not happening. It's just not happening. Unless she really becomes like some kind of MMA cage fighter or something in a short space of time, then maybe. I mean, she could head down that road if we don't get any development. But I do feel like Tory is one of them characters where there's potential there, but we're just not getting it. Sounds so entitled, Jesus. But I do feel like, you know, the creators of the show, they have their plan, so they're gonna know when to do that at the right time. And as I said, Season 4 is the best time to give us it for Tory, because I feel like if you do it in 5 or 6, as I've said, where I can see them going with this show is Season 4, the bad guys win. Season 5, you set up the end game, and Season 6 is the end game. That's what I mean, again, I could be completely wrong, but I feel like that is the most likely scenario of the whole situation. But in regards to just Tory specifically, I think, you know, Peyton List is an exceptional talent, and I feel like we really want to see more of that. Let us spend more time with Tory. Let us see a bit more of her home life. Maybe a bit more of her stuff. Maybe more of her job life. What's it like working at those places? You know, because we just get glimpses. We don't get the details. I mean, look at the scenes, as I've said, with Robby across the show, with the small scenes. The scenes with Miguel. You know, the scenes with Hawk. Like, the little scenes that we get across the show that add layers and layers on top of the character. So when you get, like, the really powerful story, it's enhanced and boosted up several notches because of those little scenes. So we've had little scenes for Tory. Now it's time to start giving us the big stuff, the big storylines. Really develop that, because we've got so many little scenes Now they'll be much stronger if there's a big overarching storyline where we can really see Tory's point of view. We it doesn't mean whether we like her or not, or whether we think she's crazy or not, but at least we can kind of understand why she's doing what she's doing. And again, as I said, with a talent like Peyton List, you know, use it. You know, use that potential, you know, extract it. And there's no better time than now to invest into everyone that's in that Cobra Kai dojo and elevate them up here, Kyla included. And yes, I said Kyla, including Kyla, all of them. If it's Cobra Kai's season, you gotta go in on all of them, all of them. And one thing that this show does so well is no matter how many characters they have in, there's still someone out there who cares about even the most minute character like Bert or Nate. Like, that's how good this show is. So guys and girls, jump in the comment section down below. Try and keep it civil down there. Anytime Tory's mentioned, it always just erupts into a cesspool of, you know. So just try and keep it civil down there. I'm interested to hear what you guys have to say. And yeah, just give us more backstory, but not just backstory. Character reason, you know, motivation. Why do we need to care for her? Show us what her job life is like from day to day. You know, as I said, with the focus being the All Valley, you know, I really don't want too many fights this season. A few here or there, just to fill in the gap. But not loads. I want real character detail and story. And I feel like now is the best time. Because now is literally going to be the Empire Strikes Back, Revenge of the Sith of Cobra Kai. It's now. It's now or never. You think I'm crazy? I'm joking. I wanted to have a funny tagline. What's a good tagline for Tory? This will never be over, LaRusso, you hear me?